Marion and Hans' siblings are here, so it's wonderful to have a family affair, and that's what Hans wants. He wants a family affair, and I will tell you that officers in my squadron do not get by without having a promotion ceremony. And it's not because of them. Why? Because honestly, it's not about them. Promotion ceremonies are about wives and kids. They're about moms and dads. They're about siblings. They're about airmen who do all the hard work behind the scenes, right? So we know that it's our families that get us here. We know that it's our airmen that are doing the hard work that get us those promotions. And I know for a fact, in Hans's case, that he believes the same thing. We've had those conversations. So it's not about us at the end of the day. But it is pretty neat to recognize folks on the occasion of their promotion. So I get to talk a little bit about Hans, and then we'll do the formal part, and it's pretty brief. If you've not seen one of these before, it's a pretty brief, but it's a meaningful ceremony. So Hans, if you did not know, graduated from the University of Pittsburgh in about 2003, and did not come, obviously, right into the Air Force, right? Most officers come in, right out of college, and he didn't. He went and did other great things. So how many of us in this room went to Taiwan to teach English? I think one. So so that's what Hans did right out of college. He went to Taiwan. He's teaching English, and of course, while he's there, he meets his lovely bride Jessie. And so they're married there, and then it's back in the United States at George Washington University, hanging out there in D.C., in lovely D.C., working on a master's degree in Southeast Asian languages, right? So he's working on his master's in Southeast Asian languages. He applies to come to OTS, gets accepted, and goes to OTS. And then from there, it's on to Dover Air Force Base, where he had the pleasure of working for one of my mentors. One of his former squadron commanders is a close friend and mentor of mine. And he excelled there doing both early flight commands as a distribution flight commander, well, actually first a fuels flight commander, and a distribution flight commander. So as we say, he's got some of that fuel stink on him, and he's got some of that distribution stink on him. And then, of course, as you all know, he came here to Holloman, and he has been in the material management flight for his duration here. As you also are probably aware, we are seeing him go. So Hans is leaving the squadron, going up to work for my boss, for the group commander, so he gets to take good care of Colonel Bennett as his exec. And I will tell you, I'll be very transparent with you. The conversation that between us when I told him, hey, you're going to be the group commander's exec, he's kicking and screaming going out of here. All right, so that's just fair. But I know two things. One, I told Hans, I said, one, I would never send somebody to the group if it doesn't hurt the squadron. All right, if it was easy for me to send somebody to the group, I'm not going to do it because that means I'm sending the wrong person. So I've got to send somebody when it hurts, and it hurts to lose Hans, so I know I'm sending the right person. And then two, I know I'm helping him out. As much as we don't like being away from the airmen, being away from the mission, being away from getting the job done, and up there pushing paper, I know that I'm helping him out long-term for his career. So it's good for us in the group, it's good for Hans, but it is kind of bittersweet, I would say. I know it is for me. It's tough to see him go. But pretty cool today, we get to promote him. So he will be a captain here in just a few moments. And we're to that point now. We're going to do a couple of formal things and make it official. So if you all would stand, please. And Hans, you join me up here. And we'll get the official part of this thing going on. Publish the order.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of First Lieutenant Hans Hobbs. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, First Lieutenant Hobbs is promoted to the grade of Captain, United States Air Force, effective the 14th day of April, 2013, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Marion and Jessie, would you please come forward and pin on Captain Hobbs?
Thank you. And I will help you. You can hand me the old ones.
Thank you.
And like we talked earlier, we need to make sure these stick.
I need a safety briefing. No, that's okay.
Gotcha.
These things really aren't important. I mean, well, thank you.
Lieutenant Colonel Bearden will now administer the oath of office.
All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Hans Blum Hobbs,
Having been appointed a captain in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a captain in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I am about to enter.
of which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Hobbs.
All right, it only took 4 years to get here. First of all, thank you so much for coming out and giving me a couple minutes of your time. Just like the Colonel said, the time went fast, and I feel extremely lucky that I got a chance to spend time with the folks in the fuels community, and then I got to move on and spend time with the folks in the deployment distribution community, and then I got a new family here at Holloman in the material management flight. You guys have been incredibly awesome to me. And not to mention that it's not just the flight as well, but all my fellow officers, I thank you so much. When I think about it all coming together, I have to share a story from about a month ago. About a month ago, I did a retirement for Master Sergeant retired Williams, and it was great, and I was honored to have the opportunity. But it was a story that shows how a whole team comes together to support you. So I was nervous, and I forgot one minor detail. I had taken my blues pants to the dry cleaner the day before, and they'd already closed. So I'm thinking, I don't think I can combine ABU pants. That's probably a little bit obvious. So I went with a lifeline. Hey, Art, Lieutenant Delora, I said, hey, Art, hey, man, can I borrow your pants? Let me tell you something. In the good book, it talks about taking the shirt off your back and giving it to your brother. But it doesn't mention anywhere about taking the pants and handing them over. He's like, sure, I got you. Picked him up in the morning. He was like, oh, by the way, you might want to iron these. That's okay, but I don't have an iron. So I'm halfway there yet still, right? But my wife thinks of some ingenious way to take a metal teapot and warm it up with water, and then she somehow flattens them all out. And I got there. I couldn't have done it without my colleague. I couldn't have done it without my family. And there are even times where you just need a good supervisor to take care of you. So we're standing up front in this retirement ceremony, and everybody's looking at each other like, when are we going to start the Air Force song? And he just starts it, and that's what I needed. It's everyone coming together. You know, it's a team effort, and I appreciate the airmen. We got smart airmen. I was thinking about it. I was like, I got several degrees, and they know more about supply than I do. So that's good on them. Highly intelligent Air Force we got here. So I'm honored to get to work with you guys. Thanks for taking care of me. I can't make it without you. So thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the afternoon ceremony. Please come to the front and offer congratulations, and have a great Air Force Day.
All right, short, sweet, to the point.